Pause now. Breathe in, hold out. If your chest is tight and your sleep has been broken, this is for you. This is not an accident. It is a summons with a gift. Before this ends, you will regain calm and one clear next step. Stay with me. 2 words today will turn a handle you've rattled for years. I quieted the noise you couldn't mute so you could hear this. You are not late. You are not lost. If your mind races and your stomach knots before morning coffee, you are seen. In the next minutes, I will show you why the wind pushed so hard and how your yes makes that wind carry you. You counted seasons by deadlines and disappointments, by rooms that felt too loud or far too empty. You called those years lost time. I called them foundation. While you tallied not yet, I laid beams beneath a future you could not see. You mistook the dust for the end of the road. I was laying track under it. Look again. The hinge is catching light. The door before you does not swing toward shame. It opens toward peace that remains. Peace you can feel in your shoulders. Peace you can sleep inside. Peace that steadies your breathing when thoughts try to sprint. You have felt it, haven't you? Resistance arriving early and staying late. Being overlooked while others were chosen. The grey loneliness that visits like weather and overstays like winter. But what you called punishment was protection. What you named delay was direction. I closed paths that would have charged you your voice. I removed hands that would have dimmed your light. I sealed certain routes so your life would not be traded to fit rooms too small for your calling. You were not held back. You were held. You were not sidelined. You were set apart. When you reached for glitter that would have rusted, chances slipped. Connections shifted. Doors turned to walls because I would not let you exchange your birthright for applause. When teachers missed what I placed in you, when friends drifted, when even those nearest could not read your heart, I remained. I saw you. I recorded the tears others never noticed, the questions no one answered, the prayers whispered into pillows at 2 a.m. Heaven kept the minutes. When you smiled to shield others while you felt hollow, I took that weight into my hands. When you carried loads no one recognized, I was the strength under your steps. Those seasons were not wasted. They forged a backbone of quiet power that does not snap when winds rise. Hear this. If you could accomplish this by your own strength, it would not originate in me. Your purpose carries weight. That is why you feel pressure. Your threshold draws opponents. That is why friction grew as you neared yielding. But the veil is thinning. Insight is sharpening. What I have always known about you is rising into your sight now. This is your season to see. This is your moment to respond. Do not treat this as another pleasant message. This is an intersection. To dismiss it is to defer the future I designed for you. To embrace it is to place your feet on the track I prepared. Align now. Turn from the lie that calls you ordinary. Turn from noise that dilutes your courage. If your inner self echoes this truth, confirm it with action. Not later. Not when conditions simplify. Now, what action? Your part begins with a surrender the size of 2 words. I will. Say it while your hands still tremble. Say it while the knot in your stomach has not fully loosened. Say it while your mind presents a dozen reasons to postpone. I listen for willingness, not eloquence. I move on conviction, not volume. There is a lantern in you. Delay dims, yield refuels. Bring me minutes, breath, attention, and watch what I do. My mercy is not a fog that blurs edges. It is a light that sharpens them. Do not mistake my patience for indifference. I hold back judgment in hope of your agreement, but windows do not stand open forever. This is not to frighten you. It is to wake you. Wakefulness is mercy. Keys do not ask doors to feel ready. They turn. Say it, I will. As those words leave, notice this. Your shoulders drop, breath returns, the room feels wider. Not because you control variables, but because you align with the one who holds them. A father once whispered, I will, over a sink of dishes, and panic did not spike at bedtime for the first time that month. A nurse said, I will, in her parked car, and stopped replaying yesterday's words on a loop. Someone typed, still here at 2:14 in the morning, and slept 6 hours straight. I'm not quoting legends. I'm describing people like you, choosing like you, receiving like you. You have wondered why the wind pushed so hard. Shadows do not resist what is harmless. A locked gate does not rattle in a field where nothing grows. Pressure is a prophecy. It announces weight, your future's weight. The resistance around you is evidence that what is inside you threatens what is false outside you. Consider a storm testing structures. A paper shelter flutters and folds. A rooted house hums and holds. The gust that frightens the shallow reveals the depth of the foundation. You have felt that push. You have watched flimsy things fly. You are still here. That is not luck. That is design. I laid your foundation for weather you could not yet name. People have acted in ways that defied sense. Circumstances shifted without warning. You reached for a human reason. There wasn't one big enough. The struggle has been largely hidden. Therefore, the solution must be holy. You do not conquer spiritual pressure with performance, but with alignment. With yes, with I will. You call that too simple. The unseen calls it legal. When agreement moves, authority moves. You say you are tired, soul tired, smile for others tired. Can I do this again tired? Your fatigue is not proof of failure. It is proof you have pressed against real weight. Come rest a moment. Let your breath even out. Strength returns not with frantic motion, but with steady oxygen and trust. One breath, one choice, one I will at a time. You were not trained in easy halls. I guided you through barren fields where applause could not feed you, so your roots would learn where water truly flows. I led you into valleys where opinions echoed, so your ears would learn the difference between clamor and my voice. You were not being punished. You were being tuned. A tuned instrument does not resent the tightening string. It welcomes the note it was made to carry. Remember the near misses, the sudden turns that kept you from rooms you begged to enter, doors that should have opened. I kept you from victories that would have cost your soul more than they paid. I did not let temporary platforms become permanent prisons. I did not allow a compliment to become your crown. You were made for impact, and impact needs integrity more than speed. Delay feels like denial to the hungry, but delay under my hand is delivery. I do not waste time. I ferment it. I'm not hiding your future from you. I'm hiding you for your future. When the cork comes out, the pressure you fought will become the pressure that drives you forward. Do not call yourself behind when I call you on time. Your story is not late. It is layered. No one sees rehearsals in the wings, only the moment the curtain rises. I rehearsed you in private so you would not fracture in public. That is mercy. That is me. And because I love you, I speak plainly. Where your devotion has been divided, I refine. Where your hand keeps reaching for what I removed, release. Where a wound became a lens that bends every scene, I cleanse your sight. Not to shame you, to free you. You cannot carry what comes next with one hand on the past. Let go. What is true remains without your clutching. What is false falls even if you cling. Your task is not to make people stay. Your task is to stay aligned. Not everyone is assigned to your entire journey. Some walk a stretch. Some share a single mile. If you demand forever from what was designed for a season, grief will teach what wisdom would have whispered. Bless and release. What is yours by covenant will not leave by convenience. What leaves by truth was never yours by covenant. And while we speak of truth, let me uncover what hid under your furniture. A promise that looked bright but asked you to shrink to fit. Was that really a gift? A friendship that said the right words but fed on comparison. Was that truly love? Step back and see with clean eyes. Discernment is not cynicism. It is clarity wrapped in peace. Stay near me and your inner instrument stays tuned. Return to the key. I will whisper it in your kitchen. Say it through tears in the car. Speak it before sleep when thoughts crowd. The unseen does not grade your volume. It registers your agreement. Each time you say it, something legal shifts. The accusation loses footing. The memory loosens its grip. The dead branch snaps and sap rises. Simple does not mean small, it means sharp. Your two words do what long speeches cannot. They align your will with mine, and alignment moves mountains in ways muscle never will. You are not a mistake. You are intentional design with precise placement in time. Your voice matters. Your presence matters. Rooms change, not because you strain, but because you carry calibration. The gravity you felt your whole life, the restlessness around shallow things, is not a flaw. It is a feature. It kept you from trading pearls for pebbles, destiny for distraction. And you will not do this alone. Isolation trained your ear. It was never meant to be forever. Find the few who guard fire instead of gossip. Link shields. When you stand together, wines become music, not menace. What I pour into you is meant to spill over. Your private I will becomes someone else's courage. Your quiet yes multiplies. This is how I move through a weary world, one yielded heart at a time, until many hearts hum with the same note. Stay with me now. If this is your hour, keep listening. If this speaks your language, save it for tonight's quiet. If your soul says yes, let your mouth agree. Say it again, I will. As you do, notice small mercies arriving on ordinary highways, the text that doesn't rattle you, the memory that releases its sting, the morning you wake without a fight in your chest. Do not dismiss these as coincidence. These are the early leaves of a planted promise. Let me give you a rhythm you can carry into the next hours. When the mind sprints, slow the breath. In for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. While you breathe, offer 2 words, I will. When you feel the urge to scroll away from your own life, return to the sentence that steadies you. I am not late. I am not lost. I am aligned. When the thought arrives that says later, answer with now and let your feet follow. Courage rarely feels like fireworks. Courage usually feels like a small door you decide to open again today. You asked for evidence that this is for you. You already have it. Sleeplessness that routines could not fix, softened only when you breathed and spoke with me. Opportunities that shone but demanded you be smaller to enter, collapsing the moment you tried to comply. A conversation dressed in spiritual words that left a film of envy on your skin, and you knew it. Your instrument works. Keep it tuned. Keep near me. Keep saying yes. I want you to notice the shape of your day changing in small ways first. The next time your thoughts begin to stack like boxes, step back. Speak your 2 words. Feel the boxes lose their hard corners. The next time your chest lifts into your throat, place your hand there and say what we say together. I will. Feel warmth arrive beneath your palm. The next time you stand at a doorway that has refused you, do not beg it. Do not kick it. Place the key into the lock of your own will and turn. Some doors will open. Some will prove they were never yours. Both answers are gifts. This is not about performance. This is about posture. Not about many words. About 2. Not about knowing every step. About knowing who walks with you. I am the steady center when the world spins. I am the quiet in which your inner compass finds north again. Turn to me, not with elaborate appeals, but with the simple acknowledgement of my nearness. This turning is enough. This is where peace lives. This is where your strength returns. Now I speak to the fear beneath the fear, the suspicion that if you yield, you will lose yourself. You will not. You will find the self you were designed to be before fear edited your sentences. Yielding is not erasure. It is alignment. When you yield to me, you do not disappear. You become distinct. The blur lifts. Edges become crisp. Choices become simpler. Not because life becomes small, but because love becomes large. You worry that the path ahead will still include valleys. It will. Valleys teach you which voice to follow when the echo multiplies opinions. But you will not walk them as before. You will walk them with a center. You will carry heat through cold air. You will discover that shadows cannot long survive where a heart keeps saying yes. And when you crest a hill, you will not crown yourself. You will look around for who to lift. That is why I trained you in quiet. Not to keep you hidden forever, but to keep you whole when you are seen. So we return to the hinge. The handle you have rattled for years is warm. Turn it with me. Say what we say, I will. Let this be the refrain that threads this hour and the next. Let it meet you in the kitchen, at the sink, on the sidewalk, by the bed. Let it be louder than later and stronger than the loop. Your future does not wait for a feeling. It waits for a decision. 2 words are enough. Stay with me. Save this for the moment the house is finally quiet and play it again. Share it with the one whose nights have been thin and whose mornings begin already tired. We will breathe together. We will choose together. You will find calm returning like a patient tide. You will receive one clear next step. And you will know deeper than argument that you are not late, you are not lost, and you will not walk alone. I am here. I am not leaving. Say it once more, not as a spell, but as a vow. I will. And as those syllables cross your lips, feel this truth settle in your bones. What you could not push open with force turns easily when aligned with grace. You have wondered why the wind was strong, why pressure rose exactly when you chose what was right. If your breath has been shallow and your thoughts keep circling the same corner, stay with me. Before this ends, you will feel steady again and see one clear step you can take today. 2 words will do more than 1,000 explanations. You already know the words. Hold them ready. Shadows do not resist what is harmless. A locked gate does not rattle in a field where nothing grows. Pressure is a prophecy. It announces weight, your future's weight. The resistance around you is evidence that what is inside you threatens what is false outside you. This is not flattery, it is diagnosis. This is not hype, it is the weather report of your calling. Consider a storm testing structures. A flimsy shelter flutters and folds. A rooted house hums and holds. The gust that frightens the shallow reveals the depth of a good foundation. You have felt that push. You have watched weak things fly. You are still here. That is not luck. That is design. I laid your foundation for weather you could not yet name. I'm not surprised by the clouds. I stocked your cupboards for this season before you entered it. People acted in ways you could not explain. Circumstances pivoted without warning. You searched for a human reason. There was not one big enough. The conflict has been mostly hidden, so the solution must be holy. You do not out-argue the dark, you out-agree it. Alignment outruns effort. Agreement outranks volume. I do not hand you a heavy script to memorize. I place 2 light words in your mouth. Say them when your hands shake. Say them when the knot has not yet loosened. Say them when the thought says later. I will. You say you are tired, soul tired, smile for others tired. Can I do this again tired? Your fatigue is not proof of failure. It is proof you have been pressing against real weight. Comes it, let your breath even out. Strength returns not with frantic motion, but with oxygen and trust. One breath, one choice, one I will at a time. I trained you in places where applause could not feed you, so your roots would learn where water truly flows. I led you through valleys where opinions echoed, so your ears would learn the difference between clamor and my voice. You were not being punished. You were being tuned. A tuned instrument does not resent a tightened string. It welcomes the note it was made to carry. Remember the near misses, the sudden turns that kept you from rooms you begged to enter, doors that should have opened. I kept you from victories that would have cost your soul more than they paid. I did not let a temporary platform become a permanent prison. I did not allow a compliment to become your crown. You were made for impact, and impact needs integrity more than speed. Delay feels like denial to the hungry, but delay in my hands is delivery. I do not waste time, I ferment it. I am not hiding your future from you. I am hiding you for your future. When the cork comes out, the pressure you fought will become the pressure that drives you forward. Do not call yourself behind when I call you on time. Your story is not late. It is layered. No one sees rehearsals in the wings, only the moment the curtain rises. I rehearsed you in private so you would not fracture in public. That is mercy. That is me. Because I love you, I will be plain. Where your devotion is divided, I refine. Where your hand keeps reaching for what I removed, release. Where a wound became a lens bending every scene, I cleanse your sight. Not to shame you, to free you. You cannot carry what comes next with one hand on the past. Let go. What is true remains without your clutching. What is false falls even if you cling. Your work is not to make people stay. Your work is to stay aligned. Not everyone is assigned to your entire journey. Some walk a stretch. Some share a single mile. If you demand forever from what was designed for a season, grief will teach what wisdom would have whispered. Bless and release. What is yours by covenant will not leave by convenience. What leaves by truth was not yours by covenant. Do not argue with endings I authored for your good. Do not chase what I am already moving away. Your future is not back there. Your peace is not in that closed room. Your name is not printed on that seat. Let me uncover what hid under your furniture. Opportunities that shone but required you smaller to enter, were those doors truly mine? A friendship that spoke the right words but fed on comparison, was that love? Agreements that sounded spiritual while extracting your voice, was that covenant or contract? Step back and see again. Discernment is not cynicism. It is clarity wrapped in peace. Stay near me and your inner instrument stays tuned. I know you wanted a sign that this word is yours. You already carry 3. First, sleeplessness routines could not solve, softened only when you breathe and speak with me. Second, bright chances that collapse the moment you tried to shrink to fit them. Third, a recent conversation that left a film on your spirit, though every sentence carried holy vocabulary. Your instrument works. Trust what I'm teaching your ear. Now hear what pressure proves. The wind proves weight. The push proves progress. The resistance proves proximity. You are nearer than you think. The adversary spends no energy on fields where nothing is growing. He rattles the gate he fears will open. When you feel that rattle, do not retreat into explanations. Reach for the key you already hold. 2 words, I will. A woman walked into her kitchen after midnight. Lights low, heart loud. She pressed her palms to the cold counter and whispered, I will. She did not feel fireworks. She felt her shoulders lower on their own. She slept through the night for the first time in weeks. A teacher sat in an empty classroom after dismissal. Desks quiet, paper towers leaning. He said, I will. He did not wake up rich. He woke up light. A courier in a parking lot, engine ticking as it cooled, whispered, I will, before driving home. He did not get a call back from the opportunity he thought was his. He got something better. The urge to beg the wrong door left his chest. When agreement moves, authority moves. You think 2 words are small. The unseen calls them legal. Agreements build structures unseen before they raise walls seen. When you say I will, accusation loses a foothold. The old story loosens a thread. The branch that stopped carrying life snaps away, so sap can rise again. Simple does not mean small, it means sharp. A key is simple, a turn is simple. What it opens is not. Do not wait for the room to approve your yes. Do not wait for the loop to quit before you speak. Say it while the noise is still a noise. Say it while the knot still sits under your ribs. Say it when the thought says later. Later is a polite word for never. Now is a door. I stand with you at the handle. Turn it with me. I will. If this is your hour, stay with me. Save this for the night when the house is finally quiet. Send it to the friend who wakes before dawn already tired. We will breathe together. We will choose together. Calm will return like a patient tide. One clear next step will appear. This is how I guide a tired heart, not with maps full of arrows, but with one step that carries peace. When peace walks with you, you are not wandering. You worry that if you yield, you will lose yourself. You won't. You will find the self you were designed to be before fear edited your sentences. Yielding is not erasure. It is alignment. Yielding does not dim you. It defines you. The blur lifts, edges become crisp, decisions become simpler. Not because life becomes small, but because love becomes large. I do not demand you vanish. I invite you to appear. You say, what about valleys? You will pass through them. Valleys teach which voice to follow when echoes multiply. But you will not enter them as before. You will walk with a center. You will carry heat through cold air. You will discover that shadows cannot linger where a heart keeps saying yes. Even when the hillside is long, you will find the rhythm. Breathe, choose, speak, move. The hill does not reduce. Your strength increases. You fear missing what is meant for you. You will not. What carries your name does not forget you. What carries my signature does not require your striving to secure it. Stand where I planted you. Say I will. Do the next faithful thing. Lift who is in front of you. I'm a better marketer of your destiny than fear is. I open rooms you do not know exist. I seat you at tables you did not know were set. Your yes is the invitation you hand me to place you. If your thoughts begin stacking like boxes again, step back. Put your hand over your chest. Breathe in for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. While the breath moves, say the 2 words that move weight you cannot. I will. Notice how corners soften. Notice how the future stops shouting from the doorway and waits like a friend in the kitchen. Patient, present, kind. Peace is practical. Peace is not a mood. It is governance. Let it govern the next 10 minutes. Then the 10 after that, there will be moments when stories from before come knocking, dressed as wisdom, carrying the old fear under a new hat. They will offer familiar bargains, shrink to fit, hurry to keep up, earn your right to breathe. Do not open. Speak through the door, I will. Your breath is not a wage. Your belonging is not a test. Your place is not a debt. You do not have to buy what I already paid for. Find the few who guard fire instead of gossip. Link shields. Pray short and true together. Read small and slow together. Laugh without performance together. When you stand with the right few, wins become music, not menace. I made you for communion, not celebrity. I made you for covenant, not crowd. What I pour into you is meant to spill over, not evaporate. Your private I will becomes courage in someone else's mouth. Your quiet yes multiplies in rooms you will never enter. Do not measure your progress by how loud others are. Do not compare your altar to someone else's stage. I'm not impressed with noise. I'm moved by willingness. I'm not tracking your volume. I'm tracking your agreement. This is good news. You can agree anywhere. In the kitchen, in a car, walking the dog, waiting at a red light. Agreement does not check your outfit. Agreement does not ask your resume. Agreement looks for a heart that will not barter its peace for a little more applause. There will be days when you feel the old loop try to spin again. Interrupt it early. Speak before it gains speed, I will. Then take the smallest faithful step you can see. Text the apology. Close the tab. Drink the water. Step outside and breathe real air. Put your phone face down while you finish the one thing that matters this hour. Harvest the tiny fruit in front of you and bless it. Tiny fruit today grows branches tomorrow. Let me say this to the part of you that believes nothing is changing because everything still looks the same. Seeds do their best work underground. Roots grow in the dark. Wines age in the cellar. I'm not hiding results from you. I'm building results in you. When you feel nothing but you keep saying I will, you are placing bricks no one sees until a wall appears all at once. That wall will hold under weather that caves in prettier structures. Trust the hidden. If you need a picture for the next stretch, take this one. You stand at a gate you've rattled for years. Your hand rests on cool metal. Your pulse is in your wrist. The wind presses your coat and tries to convince you to step back. You do not argue with the wind. You reach into your pocket and find the simple key you always had. You lift it to the lock. You do not ask the gate to feel ready. Keys do not ask, they turn. I'm beside you. We turn together. The click you hear is small. The opening is not. Walk, say it now. The way someone does when they are done trading the right to breathe for the right to please. I will. Say it the way a child answers when their name is called by someone they trust. I will. Say it as steady as you can, even if steady is a whisper. I will. Watch how the room widens. Watch how your breath returns. Watch how the weight that refused to move under your pushing shifts under your agreeing. Do not postpone what peace is ready to perform. Do not wait for a sign from the sky when I have placed one in your chest. Your own yes is a miracle. Your own yes is a door. Your own yes is a riverbed, glad to carry water again. And when the water comes, it will not only be for you. It will run through you. It will rinse rooms. It will soften hard ground. It will carry seeds you didn't know you were holding. Stay with me. Save this for the quiet. Share it with the one who wakes early, already tired. Breathe, choose, speak, move. If you need words for the next minute, I am not late. I am not lost. I'm aligned. If you need a step for the next hour, do the faithful small thing in front of you and bless it. If you need courage for tonight, lay your hand over your chest and let your mouth carry what your heart already knows. I am here. I am not leaving. You will not walk this alone. The wind will not have the final voice. The gate is not stronger than the key. The key is not heavier than your hand. Lift it, turn it. Walk with me. Say it once more, not as magic, but as agreement. I will. And as those syllables cross your lips, feel this settle in your bones. What you could not push open with force turns easily when aligned with grace. If you are still here, stay very close. What happens next explains why certain ties loosened, why bright rooms dimmed the moment you stepped inside, why your spirit felt heavy in places that looked light. This is not punishment. This is protection. This is not loss. This is alignment. I am unveiling what hid under familiar furniture so you can travel lighter and farther. Before this ends, you will know what to keep, what to bless and release, and what to run toward without apology. 2 words remain your key. Keep them ready. You have noticed a pattern, comforts that slowly cost you your clarity, conversations that sounded noble while asking you to mute your knowing, invitations that dressed like opportunities but sized you down at the door. Step back with me. Breathe in for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. Look again through clean glass. Does it require you to become less true to be welcome? Does it pull your attention off what I already gave you to carry? Does it feed comparison more than compassion? If so, it's not a covenant. It's a contract with your peace as the payment. Bless it, release it. Then speak the 2 words that keep your hands free. I will. I know you hoped everything could stay while you stepped into more. Some things can. Many cannot. Growth does not always ask permission. Love without limits stays. Need without reverence leaves. Your discernment is not cruelty. It is care. Care for what I planted. Care for the people your life will water. I'm not teaching you to burn bridges. I'm teaching you to recognize dead-end alleys. A bridge can be crossed later. An alley only loops you back to where you got tired last time. You say, but didn't I promise forever? You promised to walk in truth. Forever is safe inside truth. It rots outside of it. I never ask you to keep any bond that buries the light I placed in you. I never ask you to keep performing so someone else can stay comfortable. Mercy is not enabling. Mercy is freeing. When you stop pretending, oxygen returns to relationships that were suffocating in politeness. Some will breathe easier and grow with you. Some will choose a different room. Both outcomes are mercy. Let me give you pictures so your heart does not argue with shadows. A man kept a chair at his table for a guest who no longer came. Each day he set a plate, waited and ate cold. When he finally put the chair back against the wall and stopped setting the extra plate, he cried. He felt disloyal to hope. But the next evening, there was room for the neighbor who always waved and never came in. They ate warm. Laughter returned. He did not lose loyalty. He reclaimed capacity. A woman kept a notification on for someone who answered only when she shrank first. The alert sound trained her heart to flinch. She turned it off and felt guilty. Then she noticed the sound of rain on her window again. She started hearing her own children's stories without the background hum of dread. Peace is not silence. Peace is space where voices worth hearing can be heard. I am not asking you to slam doors. I'm asking you to name them. Some doors are entrances. Some doors are exits. Some doors are closets where old costumes hang. You cannot wear those costumes and carry your calling at the same time. They were cut for a smaller you. Smile at them. Thank them for the season they served. Then hang them carefully and walk out in clothes that fit the story I am writing now. This is the season of clear sight. Deception rarely announces itself. It rarely snarls. It often sings on key. It often quotes good sentences. That is why nearness to me matters more than ever. What does your core feel when the words pass by? Does it rest or brace? Does it soften or shrink? My voice carries gravity and gentleness at once. It never requires you to betray yourself to appear loving. It never calls exhaustion obedience. It never names fear wisdom. Stay near me. Your instrument will stay tuned. You asked me for a sign. I gave you one in your body, a tightness beneath your ribs when you hear a polished sentence that bends truth 1 degree to the left. I put a bell in your chest. When you ignore it, it does not punish you. It goes quiet. When you honor it, it grows accurate. Today, honor it. When the bell rings, pause, breathe, ask, what is true here? When you cannot say it with warmth, step back with me until warmth returns. Truth and love are not enemies. They are twins in the same house. We will talk now about endings, because endings terrify even brave hearts. You will not be punished for closing what I am no longer in. You will not lose your destiny by refusing to keep a promise to a lie. Your future cannot be stolen by letting go of a role you only accepted to be allowed in the room. Your seat at the right table is not earned by starvation at the wrong one. Hear me, what carries my signature will not demand your essence as a down payment. What I sign, I sustain. You fear being accused of quitting. There is quitting and there is concluding. Quitting is abandoning your assignment because it is difficult. Concluding is blessing what served its purpose and placing it back on the shelf. One shrinks your soul, the other frees your hands. Your critics often cannot tell the difference. I can. So can your peace hold this sentence? I bless what was and I release what is not. Speak it gently, even through tears. Say it when you return a key. Say it when you stop rehearsing the same argument. Say it when you put the costume back on the hanger. Then say the two words that open the adjacent door. I will. What do you keep? Keep the relationships that can tolerate your growth. Keep the practices that return your breath. Keep the small, faithful work that looks like little and builds like mountains. Keep the words that still carry weight when the music is off. Keep the room where you tell the truth and are met with truth. Keep the quiet where your shoulders finally drop. What do you bless and release? Release the rooms that praise you for being less. Release the tasks that prove your worth instead of express your grace. Release the conversations that make you explain your calling to ears that only want your performance. Release the bargains where peace pays the price. Release what tries to rename you something smaller than I called you. And what do you run toward? Without apology. Run toward rooms where fire is guarded, not gossiped. Run toward tables where the hungry are fed, not measured. Run toward assignments that stretch your courage, but never suffocate your conscience. Run toward work that requires your whole voice. Run toward people who are not impressed with you, but are invested in your becoming. Run toward the still place where you and I walk and decide the next faithful inch together. You worry about hurting people by changing. Love does not harm by telling the truth. Love harms by prolonging the lie. It is not kindness to let a false expectation rent a room in your mind with your peace as rent. It is kindness to knock, to say softly, "This lease is over," and to help carry the boxes to the curb. Some will curse the move. Some will thank you later. Your job is not to predict reactions. It is to keep your heart clean while you act. Let's return to practice. Place your hand on your chest. Breathe in for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. Whisper, I bless what was. Breathe again. Whisper, I release what is not. Breathe again. Speak the key, steady as you can. I will. Notice the corners of the day soften. Notice the clock lose its frown. Notice the sound of your own interior voice lowering from a shout to a conversation. A story from a hallway. A young artist painted and hid. She feared being seen would turn her work into a performance for applause. She said yes to small rooms that celebrated her quiet. She said no to a flashy gallery that asked her to make what sold rather than what healed. People called her foolish. She felt foolish at first. Then the small room filled with those who came to be restored, not entertained. She sold less noise and more medicine. The gallery closed 2 years later. Her work hangs in homes that became sanctuaries. She did not lose opportunity. She lost a costume and found a calling. A story from a kitchen table. An older man kept leading a circle that shrank him. He was told to keep topics safe, to keep prayers short, to keep questions shallow. He felt his chest tighten every week on the drive over. One day he blessed what had been, wrote a letter of thanks, and left. He gathered 3 people around his table with tea and bread and long listening. They cried more in one evening than they had in a year of safe meetings. He thought he lost a platform. He found a family. I will say this clearly. I will never require you to betray your design to keep my favor. My favor fits you. It breathes with you. It strengthens your spine, not just your smile. If an arrangement demands a bent back and a bitten tongue as proof of loyalty, it is not mine. Bend only to wash feet. Bite your tongue only to keep someone's dignity safe while they heal. Do not bend to fear. Do not bite, so you can stay in a circle that feeds on silence. You have asked, but how do I know the difference between discomfort that grows me and dysfunction that drains me? Here is a simple measure. Growth discomfort expands your breath after it stretches you. Dysfunction discomfort shrinks your breath while demanding more. Growth discomfort ends in gratitude. Dysfunction discomfort ends in guilt you can't locate. After growth, you sleep. After dysfunction, you stare at the dark and count the ceiling. Write this in your mind. After I say yes, I rest. If you cannot rest after a yes, examine the yes. Was it yours? Was it born of love or fear? Did you say yes to be brave or to be allowed? You are already allowed with me. You do not earn a seat in a house your name is on. Now about provision. You fear that releasing certain arrangements will remove the support you need. I provide through channels, not because of them. I'm not beholden to one pipeline. I have rivers you have not seen. When one stream bends away, because truth would be too expensive there, I am not wringing my hands. I'm already opening a well somewhere your feet have not yet stood. Money follows mission when mission is aligned. Do the faithful next thing and watch how sufficiency shows up like a neighbor with exactly what you ran out of. Let's speak of reputation, because reputation tries to handcuff brave hearts. Your name is not safer in your careful hands than it is in mine. You cannot curate yourself into peace. You can only consent yourself into it. Some will misunderstand. Some will misquote. Some will write a story where they are the hero and you are the problem. Let them. Their narrative will not stop your becoming. Your quiet truth will outlast their loud version. I'm not asking you to go on tour and explain yourself. I'm asking you to take the next faithful step and let fruit do the talking later. If you need one sentence for the week ahead, use this: I choose truth with love and I trust God with outcomes. Say it when you write the resignation. Say it when you accept the invitation. Say it when you delete the draft you wrote from fear. Truth with love is a path. Outcomes are a landscape. You walk the path. I paint the landscape. Now we practice again. When the memory arrives dressed as nostalgia, ask it a question. Are you here to heal me or to chain me? If it cannot answer with warmth, thank it for trying and let it pass. When a new offer arrives bright and loud, ask it a question. Do I have to become smaller to enter? If yes, smile and step back. When a friendship pulses with comparison, ask it a question. Can we bless each other's lanes? If no, bless and release. Then every time you choose cleanly, seal it with the words that keep you anchored. I will. You will notice something surprising. As you stop auditioning for rooms that are allergic to your full voice, your voice softens. Not because it is scared, because it is safe. Safe voices carry farther. They don't strain, they don't shatter, they heal. You will find yourself speaking fewer sentences with more weight. You will find your hands doing small work that lands like big work. You will notice time stop walking with a whip and start walking with a hand held out. Your days will begin to rearrange around peace. Morning will feel less like a court and more like a chapel. You will catch yourself humming while making the ordinary food. You will notice that your phone no longer tells you who you are. You will stop taking inventories of imagined failures at night and start naming the single, faithful inch you took today. You will go to bed with gratitude's small warmth and wake up with permission already in the room. This does not mean there will be no more friction. It means friction will have a purpose. When you feel it, you will ask, is this the stretch of growth or the squeeze of shrinking? You will know. And when you are unsure, you will pause, breathe, speak the key, and watch which door opens on the inside first. Breath, then step. I am not rushing you. I am leading you. I'm neither late nor in a hurry. I'm precise, a final picture before we move on. Imagine a field after harvest, stubble low, soil showing. It looks empty, it is not. Under the quiet, worms turn the earth, water sinks, nutrients shift. The field rests so the next sowing takes. You stand in such a field now. Do not mistake rest for ruin. Do not mistake clearing for canceling. I am making room. I'm clearing noise. I'm returning you to the size of your actual life, so it can hold what is actually coming. Say the sentences that fit this season. I bless what was. I release what is not. I run toward what is true. Then add the refrain that turns the handle you have rattled for years. I will. Let it be simple. Let it be steady. Let it be yours. Stay with me. Save this for the quiet hour when the house finally exhales. Share it with the friend who is brave enough to tell the truth and tender enough to cry while doing it. Breathe, choose, speak, move. You will feel calm return like tide. You will see one next step appear on the floor in front of you. You will know without argument that letting go did not shrink your life. It cleared space for me to fill. I am here. I am not leaving. The unveiling will not unmake you. It will unmask what tried to stand in your place. The release will not empty you. It will empty what never fed you. The way will not be a riddle. It will be a road. Lift your face. Open your hands. Say it with me as promise and posture, not as magic, but as marriage. I will. And as those syllables cross your lips, feel how the day shifts its weight and stands on your side. What force could not open with pushing, alignment opens like morning. If you are still here, stay close. What I say now arms you for the struggle you can't photograph, the contest under the noise, the pressure beneath the calendar. You are not imagining it. You are not dramatic. You are discerning. When the contest is invisible, the strategy must be holy. I will show you how to stand, how to link shields, how to turn ordinary hours into altars, how to let your 2 words do work your strength could not. Before this ends, you will carry a simple rhythm for hard days, a way to hold peace in moving rooms, and a reason to keep going that does not depend on applause. Keep the key ready. I will. You have felt waves that do not match the weather. Mornings start heavy for no visible reason. Conversations leave you weary, though no harsh word was spoken. Plans fray at the edges you carefully stitched. My child, you are walking through a field where winds test what is planted. Do not resent the winds, read them. Winds do not visit fallow land. They search for weight, for seed, for futures. Pressure is a prophecy. It announces that something planted is rising. The enemy spends no energy on empty soil. If he rattles the gate, it is the gate he fears will open. So how do you stand when the contest is hidden? Not by shouting at shadows, not by chasing every echo, not by rehearsing every possible outcome until your breath forgets how to return. You stand by posture, by rhythm, by agreement. You stand by doing small, faithful things on time with me until storms learn your name and step around the house you built with yes. Take this rhythm and write it on your day. First, breathe. In for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. While you breathe, set your inner posture with 2 words. I will, not loud, true. Second, bless. Bless the room you are in, the people you will meet, the work you carry today. Speak blessing like rain over the ground you're about to walk. Third, build. Put your hands to one small task that matters, even if no one is watching. Send the kind note. Finish the honest line. Wash the dish with gratitude. Rewrite the sentence so it heals and not just impresses. Breathe, bless, build. Repeat as needed. Rhythm defeats panic because rhythm belongs to peace. You will be told this is too small for such large wins. You will be told to match noise with noise. You will be told to perform urgency. You are not a siren. You are a steady lamp. Sirens exhaust whole neighborhoods. Lamps keep houses from stumbling. The contest is not who can shout longer. The contest is who can burn truer. I did not ask you to be spectacular. I asked you to be surrendered. Spectacle consumes oil. Surrender receives it, you ask, but what about when the push is constant? Then you do the thing constant pushes do not understand. You link shields. Solitude trained your ear. Fellowship strengthens your arms. Find the few who guard fire instead of gossip, who love the light more than the spotlight, who can sit in silence without making you earn the right to breathe. 3 are enough. 2 will do. Sometimes 1 is plenty for a day. Look for these signs. They rejoice at your becoming, even when it uncovers their need to grow. They do not barter your confession for power. They do not rush to solve what needs to be held. They pray short and true. They laugh like people who know they are carried. With them, your nervous system unclenches because your soul recognizes home. Link shields with such ones. Texts that say, "Still here." Voice notes that end with breath, not with drama. A table with bread and water and listening more than advice. Where shields link, stray arrows learn new directions. A story from a porch. 4 neighbors met in lawn chairs after work, tired in different ways. One was a night shift nurse, one a courier, one a teacher, one retired. They did not organize a revival. They shared soup, swapped small mercies, and spoke 2 words together at the end. "I will." Over weeks, they became harder to rattle. Panic did not stick to them like before. They did not yell at the storm. They learned to hear each other in it. The wind did not stop. The porch became weathered and holy, a story from a choir loft. A young singer kept losing her pitch when the music swelled. She thought the answer was to sing louder. Her teacher said, "Listen closer." She eased, tuned, and found that pitch is found in an ear before it is found in a throat. So with you, you think you must push harder. I invite you to listen closer. Agreement before effort. Tuning before volume. I will before I must. You carry another worry. If I slow for breath, won't I fall behind? Behind what? Behind whom? The race you are called to run is measured in faithfulness, not frenzy. The finish line is not applause. It is alignment. I have prepared good works for you to walk in, not rush past trying to impress me with speed. You cannot outrun what I already placed inside time for you. You can only outrun your peace. Do not trade a story that fits for a schedule that flatters. Now about the work that lasts. Lasting work is built of 4 simple materials: honesty, mercy, patience, and practice. Honesty says what is true in love, not to win but to mend. Mercy gives people time to be human while they are learning to be whole. Patience stays when applause leaves. Practice returns when excellence feels far away. Put these 4 on your bench each day. Build with them. When storms come, houses framed in these timbers hum and hold. Let me make it plain with the tasks in front of you. You make things, words, images, meals, moments, decisions. Let each pass through this filter. Does it heal? Does it free? Does it tell the truth without cruelty? Does it make room for someone else to breathe? If yes, proceed. If not yet, wait and let love edit. Love is the best editor. It cuts without wounding. It keeps what carries life. It discards what only carried your fear of not being enough. You will also hear whispers about resources. You cannot keep this up without more. I know what your hands need. I'm not a stingy father counting crumbs. I'm a baker who brings warm bread at odd hours. I provide through channels, but I'm not bound to them. When a stream bends away because it cannot carry truth without mixing it with flattery, I lift your eyes to a well you did not dig. Money follows mission when mission is aligned. You cannot purchase fruit with anxiety. You cultivate it with consent. Do the faithful thing in front of you and watch how sufficiency arrives like a neighbor with exactly what ran out. A micro story about provision. A baker thought her oven dying was the end. She whispered, "I will," and baked one last tray for the shelter down the street. While the bread cooled, a friend stopped by with an envelope marked "for heat." It covered more than the repair. She laughed and cried in flour. The shelter ate warm. The baker learned that rivers do not argue when it is time to flow. They go where gravity invites them. Your guess is gravity for grace. Now we must address accusation, because accusation is wind that aims at the joints. It says you are too late, you are too much, you are not enough, you will fail again. Accusation thrives in echo chambers. It starves in fellowship. When it speaks, answer with covenant language, not commentary. I am mine's, I am aligned, I am held. Then add your refrain and watch the hinge turn. I will. The voice of the accuser is loudest at thresholds. That is how you know a door is near. What about boundaries? Boundaries are not walls to keep love out. They are doors to let love work. A boundary says where your responsibility ends and mine begins. Without boundaries, you pick up what I never asked you to carry, and you drop what only you can. Draw simple lines, time for breath that is not negotiable, space for work that is not constantly interrupted by emergencies that are not yours. limits on screens that steal attention from people who would be healed by your presence. Boundaries bless both sides of a relationship. They keep you honest about what you can bless and release. You will ask, how do I discern when to persist and when to pivot? Use this two-step. First, test for peace. Not the absence of challenge, but the presence of steady breath while challenged. Second, test for fruit. Not instant results, but consistent small good over time. If there is steady breath and small good, persist. If there is shrinking breath and sour fruit, pivot. When in doubt, pause with me. Speak your 2 words and wait for your inner hallway to light the next door. Invite me into the ordinary on purpose, not as a last resort, by design. Put me at your sink, your screen, your steering wheel, your spreadsheets. Say, walk with me while I do this small thing. Then do it unto love. Write the email clean, not clever. Choose the word that heals, not the one that dazzles. Answer the text like a person, not a brand. Invisible battles are often won in these visible inches. The dark wants you bored enough to scroll your purpose away. Love wants you present enough to plant it. A word about rest. Rest is not the reward for finishing. It is part of the rhythm that lets you finish and still be yourself at the end. Rest is not laziness. Rest is trust embodied. Rest says, while I sleep, God keeps the world from falling. Honor your body's clocks. Let evening be evening. Make small liturgies. Light the candle at the same time. Put the phone in another room. Bless your bed with a sentence. This night restores me beyond my plans. You will meet challenges tomorrow with a spine that remembers softness. You wondered whether joy is a luxury for later. Joy is strength now, not entertainment, the steady gladness of being wanted by love. Joy makes you flexible where fear makes you brittle. Joy returns you to perspective when urgency tries to shrink your world to a single problem. Let joy in through simple doors. A bowl of fruit you cut slowly, music that settles your pace, laughter that releases the throat where your words have to pass. If you cannot find a reason, borrow one from a friend for a while. That is why I put you in a body, not alone in a desert. And yes, your life is meant to spill over. What I pour in is not for hoarding. It is for healing. Your I will becomes courage in someone else's chest. Your steady breath becomes a metronome for a friend who forgot the tempo of peace. Give what you carry. A prayer as short as an exhale, an extra portion, a ride, a listening ear, a place at your table, a note that says, still here. This is not small charity. This is large warfare. Darkness loses ground when light learns to move as a community. Some of you are entrusted with platforms, some with kitchens, some with code, some with classrooms, some with a single person who always sits at your right. Do not despise your lane. I distribute lamps where the streets are. I do not stack them all on one corner to look impressive. Shine where I set you. If I want you 2 streets over, I will say so. Until then, be faithful where your feet stand, and let me be large about outcomes. You worry about reputation while doing the quiet right thing. Lay that down. Your name is safer in my hands than in your own. You cannot curate yourself into peace. You can only consent yourself into it. Some will misunderstand. Some will misquote. Some will tell a story where they are the hero and you are the problem. Bless them and keep building. Fruit talks longer than rumor. Let me give you a daily creed for the invisible fight. Say it at the sink, on the sidewalk, before the meeting, after the message, when the news feels heavy, when the room goes quiet. I breathe. I bless, I build. I belong. I am aligned. I will, short, true, strong enough to hold in a storm. Now practice with me. Place your hand over your chest. In for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. Whisper, peace is governance. Again. Whisper, love edits me. Again. Say the key that keeps the door turning. I will. Let that be your agreement. Your posture, your permission for me to lead. A final picture before we move on. Imagine a city at night, seen from a hill. Thousands of windows lit, each a life, each a room with breath and bread and stories. I do not ask you to light the city by yourself. I ask you to keep your window lit, to share flame with your few when their wick is low, to accept flame when yours is tired, to keep a kettle ready for whoever knocks. When enough windows stay lit, the city learns to navigate its own dark streets. This is how I move in a weary world, one yielded yes at a time, until many yeses hum with the same note. Now lift your face. You are not behind. You are not alone. You are not ill-equipped. You are aligned. The wind will not have the last sentence. The gate is not stronger than the key. The key is not heavier than your hand. Lift it, turn it, walk with me. Say it once more, not as magic, but as marriage. I will. And as those syllables cross your lips, feel strength enter the places that felt thin a moment ago. What effort could not keep standing, agreement makes steady. We are not finished. The next stretch will teach you how to carry responsibility without splitting under it, and how to be trusted with more without being tempted by more. If you are still here, come closer. What I say now is for the hour when doors that once ignored you begin to open, when work that once felt small begins to multiply, when eyes you never sought begin to look your way. You will learn to carry more without splitting, to be trusted with more without being tempted by more, and to keep your center when circles widen. Keep your key ready. 2 words remain the hinge. I will. Increase is not a parade. It is a pressure test. Growth presses on seams to see if they were stitched in surrender or stitched in hurry. Promotion does not create character. It reveals it. Do not fear revealing. Fear pretense. You do not need a new you, only the same yielded you, practiced. You learned the note in quiet. Now you will play it in larger rooms. Volume is not vanity when the note is love. Rule 1, never trade center for scope. Scope is how far you reach. Center is where you flow from. A river that loses its bed becomes a flood. Keep your bed, your breath, your table, your few, your liturgy, your yes. Widen banks slowly. Do not bulldoze your riverbed to impress a shoreline that claps and forgets. Your pace is part of your anointing. Rule 2, choose excellence, not perfection. Excellence is love paying attention. Perfection is fear chasing approval. Excellence polishes to serve. Perfection polishes to feel safe. When the project grows, ask, does this heal, free, tell the truth without cruelty, make room for someone else to breathe? If yes, stop. Love edits. Fear erases. Rule 3, move at the speed of integrity. Opportunities will arrive that require you to be slightly less true, to look slightly more successful. They will wink, answer not at this cost. Breathe, bless, build. I'm responsible for outcomes. You are responsible for alignment. Visibility is weather, not worth. On clear days, more can see you. On cloudy days, fewer will. The house has the same value. When many watch, remember the porch. When few watch, remember the porch. Do not enlarge your head faster than you widen your heart. Fame is wind. Faithfulness is wood. Authority is borrowed from humility. Stand under truth, love correction, so those you serve are not standing under your moods. Welcome feedback. Test it for love and fruit. If sharp but clean, honor it. If loud but sour, release it. Be soft and strong at once. Boundaries must grow with blessing. A boundary for scarcity says, I will not serve desperation. A boundary for abundance says, I will not serve distraction. Write rules. You cannot buy my peace, rent my voice, schedule my soul, weaponize my kindness. Write a generous gate. I will share bread, time, prayer, skill, joy as love leads. Practice Sabbath as resistance. Rest is oxygen during the swim. Become gloriously inefficient one day a week. Let the algorithm age alone. Eat slowly. Bless your bed. This night restores me. Sabbath keeps promotion from owning you. Not every ball is glass. Your health, your home's trust, your integrity, your nearness to me, glass. Your inbox, image, a trend, rubber. Let rubber bounce. Catch glass, capacity test. Can I say I will and then rest? If yes, you are within grace. If your yes trembles behind your ribs, adjust the yes, the size, or the order until rest returns. Grace leaves margin. Hustle eats it. Choose co-laborers by what the ground needs, not how shiny the handle looks. Reward truth with trust. Correct in private, celebrate in public. Micromanagement is fear dressed as diligence. Delegate outcomes, not just tasks. Here is the why, the boundary, the authority, the review. Trust makes people rise. Control makes them shrink. Criticism comes as gold, gravel, or gas. Vent gold, sift gravel, vent gas. Fruit speaks longer than rumor. Practice hiddenness on purpose. Prayers without posts, gifts without receipts, kindness without credit. If the only life you have is the one people see, you will live starving. Money must be a servant. Give first so fear loses leverage. Save so you can weather and seed. Spend last, knowing the difference between convenience and calling. Let generosity heal, free. Tell the truth, make room to breathe. Say warm no's. I can't do this, and be faithful to what I've been given. Blessings on your work. A no that protects your assignment is a yes to everyone you serve well. Promotion liturgy, not at this cost, not for this applause, not if it shrinks truth, not if it mortgages peace. Do you want me here? Can I rest after the yes? Who do I bring with me? Speed must match clarity. Set tempos. Creativity needs silence. Service needs presence. Decisions need counsel. Recovery needs sleep. Do not skip humans to deliver product. The work is the human. When weight rises, return to the creed. I breathe. I bless, I build, I belong. I'm aligned. I will. Say it at the sink, in the meeting, on the sidewalk, before the stage, after the email. Then lift your face, place your hand over your chest, and answer with the hinge that carries more than hustle ever could. I will. Stay with me for the closing and the beginning. What you have heard is not a speech to admire. It is a vow to live. You asked for a way to hold peace in moving rooms, a way to keep purpose when lights change, a way to return when you drift. I give you a daily vow and a simple road. Keep the key ready. It will not be complicated. I will. Morning is a doorway. Cross it with intention. Before screens and headlines ask for your voice, give me your first sentence. I am yours. I am aligned. I will. Breathe in for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. Lay the day on the table, the work, the people, the unknowns. Bless them like soil before rain. Ask for one clear next step, not a map. Peace travels better step by step. Walk today with 3 practices. First, attention. Notice small mercies. The warm mug, the text that didn't rattle you, the breath that arrived when panic tried to climb. Second, truth. Say what is real with kindness. Refuse flattery that sells your soul one compliment at a time. Third, repair. When you miss, repair quickly. When someone else misses, choose mercy that holds them without hiding the break. Attention steadies. Truth cleans. Repair keeps love alive. Midday is a crossing. Pause before it sweeps you. Put your hand over your chest. Ask, am I moving at the speed of clarity or the speed of fear? If you feel the tremor behind your ribs, adjust the yes, the size, or the order until rest returns. Eat something that grew. Drink water like prayer. Step outside. Look far for 30 seconds. Your nervous system is not your enemy. It is a horse learning your voice. Speak gently. It will carry you farther. When accusation whispers, answer with covenant language, not commentary. I am minds. I am aligned. I'm held. Then seal it. I will. You do not have to out-argue shadows. You out-agree them. Agreement turns hinges the hand could not. Afternoon brings outcomes, some like sunlight, some like rain. Receive both as teachers. If a door opens, walk humbly. If it closes, bless and release. Repeat your promotion liturgy when new invitations come. Not at this cost. Not for this applause. Not if it shrinks truth. Not if it mortgages peace. Ask, do you want me here? Can I rest after the yes? Who do I bring? Where peace stays, place your foot. Evening is a hearth. Make small liturgies. Close the screen, light a candle. Let the floor keep its dust. Put the phone in another room. Touch a shoulder with kindness. Bless your bed. This night restores me beyond my plans. Tell the truth of the day without theatrics. Name one faithful inch you took. Gratitude is not denial. It is strength training for the heart. Share your flame. Text still here to the one who fought through. Pass on the spare portion. Invite the long laugh. Pray short and true. Keep us, align us, lead us. This is not sentimental. It is strategic. Cities learn to walk at night because windows stay lit. And when loss visits, and it will, do not call yourself ruined. Say, I bless what was. I release what is not. I run toward what is true. Grief is not proof you chose wrong. It is proof you loved. Let tears water the ground. Seeds answer to tears. Your story does not end in ashes. It ends in a table. If you drift, return. The road back is never far. It is one breath wide. Breathe, say the vow, take the next faithful inch. You are not graded on distance. You are guided by agreement. I do not wait at the finish line with a clipboard. I walk beside you with a hand. Hold this closing picture. A gate you rattled for years stands before you. The wind that once frightened now informs. You are not arguing with it. You are reading it. You reach into your pocket and find the simple key. Keys do not ask doors to feel ready. They turn. We turn together. The click is small. The opening is not. The path beyond is not a maze. It is a road, sometimes steep, always sure, bordered by mercy, lit by small lamps. Attention, truth. Repair, Sabbath, boundaries, generosity, hiddenness, fellowship. This is how you travel light and far. Now speak with me as vow and posture. I am yours. I choose truth with love. I move at the speed of clarity. I bless what was. I release what is not. I run toward what is true. I breathe. I bless. I build. I belong. I'm aligned. I will. Save this for the quiet hour when the house finally exhales. Share it with the one who wakes early, already tired. Breathe, choose, speak, move. Calm will return like a patient tide. A clear next step will appear on the floor before you. And you will know without argument that you are not late, not lost, and never alone. I am here. I am not leaving. Lift the key. Turn the handle. Walk with me. Say it once more. Not magic, agreement. Not spectacle, surrender. Not noise note, I will. And as those syllables cross your lips, feel the day shift its weight and stand on your side. What force could not open with pushing, alignment opens like morning.